Hi guys and girls, I'm Frederick Sanders, CEO and President of Fred4Face. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and even a little bit more intimate, Fred4Face.com. Do you want that quick face, you're in a rush, but you need to look as flawless as ever? Today, I have your remedy. Follow me right inside and we're gonna get you all set up. And it's hands-on, of course. Alright, we're going to start with the clean face, and we're going to go right onto the face with a primer and a moisturizer. I actually like to use the primer and the moisturizer with the brush on the end. Foundation is extremely important because it's basically just to give you an even skin tone. So the foundation should be about a dime size for the entire face. I like to use stick foundations, by the way, because they travel easier for an artist, and they're also universal. I can mix a moisturizer with this foundation and make it thin into a tinted moisturizer, or I can use this as full coverage in case we were doing something for stage. I'm actually using one of my favorite brushes from MAC. This brush is important because it actually has synthetic fibers, which are the white fibers up top, and it also has the natural fibers, which are the black fibers at the bottom. And you can put on materials that are more wet, like a foundation, whether it be cream or liquid, and it not destroy the bristles of the brush. And next I'm going to go in and do corrections. It's going to look very dark when I get it on initially, but it adjusts the color a little bit. And basically why I'm using something dark is because I want to be able to take out darkness. Age-old story, if you want to cover darkness, you got to use something darker than the complexion. I know a lot of the beauty magazines say, oh, you got to use something lighter, you know, to give you that highlight, but you actually want to create the coverage first. So in order to get coverage, if you have a dark area, you want to use something darker to cover it. I'm using something dark to cover dark, and then I'll go back in with something to highlight the area to make it bright in the area. Now we have achieved perfect coverage around the eye area. I want to concentrate on the brows a little bit. I want to give the brows a little bit more shape. So what I do is I go in and I kind of sketch through the brow a little bit. Not to color the brow in, but just to sketch it through to make it look more like hairs. This particular pencil has a brow brush on the other end, so I use this brush to kind of pull the product through. Again, I draw a line on the bottom. I draw a line on the top. Then I just sketch through the remainder. And it looks like a full brow, and it actually looks like hair. It doesn't look like we've drawn a brow on. This brow still isn't quite finished yet because I want to give it a definitive shape. So I'm going to go in and line it up and make it a little bit sharper. And I'll do that with my foundation or concealer. And basically, I'm going to use this to take out what I don't want seen. It's not quite finished yet because if you look on the outer corners of the eye, you'll see the lighter cream has started to spread out into the complexion, and it looks a little bit like it's discolored. So what I do to warm that up is I go back in with the actual foundation color and warm it up just a little bit on the outside. This is a great way to camouflage that brow when you're between pluckings or threading or waxing, or whichever is your choice. I prefer threading. It's a lot more precise and it lasts a lot longer. Now we're going to go on and do just a little bit of a lip. So what I do is I like to line the lip. A lot of precision on the outer rim of the lip, but on the inner rim, as you go further inside, you'll see that I like to draw more color onto the lip, and that's because I hate for lip liner to show. I tend to draw into the lip a little further with whatever color my lip liner is going to be, so that when I blend my lipstick and or gloss, you can't see that really bold line on the outside. I'm gonna do a light natural lip on the model today. So I'm using a pinky nude shade. And as you can see, I'm blending right over where the lip liner is. And the lip liner is a little bit darker, which is great because it's gonna give me that graduated look of color, which is gonna give the lips more dimension. Doing your lipstick, it has to be done in stages. So to complete this stage, I'm gonna go over it with a gloss. That's gonna bring this entire lip together. Just by painting the gloss right on top. Oftentimes I go back over it just with a pencil to kind of blend it out a little bit in the corners. Last but certainly not least, we're gonna build these lashes. We're gonna make these lashes look like they are falsy. Now what you normally do is when you open up your mascara, you take any of the gook that's on the end of it and you actually put it inside of the container. In this case, you wanna take the gook and put it right on the lash. Why do you do that, you may ask? It's because if you have a product that says it's going to lengthen, you actually have to use the product to make that mascara do what it's saying it's gonna do. This particular mascara claims to give you the look of false lashes. In order for me to have false lashes, I actually have to use the product. So I'm actually putting the product on the lash first and then pulling it through. That's the only way you're going to receive optimal results from whichever mascara that you use. And you guys can definitely see the difference between the two eyes. You want to coat those lashes, you want to do the top, and then you want to do the bottoms. Always end by lifting the lashes up because this will give you that open eye look so your lashes don't droop down. I use a kind of shaking effect when I'm putting the mascara on because it helps to separate the lashes as well so you don't have those huge clumps. This is one of those steps that you definitely want to get used to doing properly so you can always have the optimal use of your mascara. Now there are a few little mistakes that we have from actually putting the mascara on, and it's very easy to buff your mascara out. You can buff the excess right out of there. In most cases you probably want to use a smaller brush so you can really get in really close underneath that lash line. You can buff that right out of there. Sometimes you can use just a little bit of product on your brush, but most times you can just go in with a clean brush and buff it right out. And to finish the look, just to knock the shine off a little bit and kind of set the look, I'm gonna buff a little bit of a powder on, very soft powder. There you have a complete look. I know it's a little bit scary, and the first couple of times you may make a mess, but it's only makeup. You can always wash it off, wipe it down, and start again. And remember, practice makes permanent, because if you practice something, it's gonna stick with you. So if you're practicing it the wrong way, it's gonna stick with you the wrong way. But if you practice it properly, you'll learn it the proper way.